so that you can create mobile applications that run on all kinds of systems natively.
And Sailfish OS uses Qt, as we all know. So does it mean that writing an application in Qt for Sailfish OS, I can address a whole host of other devices?
Yes. So there are kind of a main two reasons for why people use Qt. One of them is application development. So instead of prioritizing between platforms, you can create your application with Qt on Sailfish, and then you're able to run it on other systems and desktop and embedded as well. And the other reason for why people choose to use Qt is for creating embedded devices. And out of that, the Sailfish OS and the tablet and the phone, they are beautiful examples of making fluent, really performant embedded devices with modern touch-based user interfaces.
So that doesn't mean that basically, Sailfish OS through the help of Qt can run on tablets, on phones, on TVs, on IVIs, and all these kind of devices. Doesn't mean that how does Qt help Sailfish OS in this multi-channel, multi-screen strategy?
So what we are experiencing in application development world is that developers no longer target for an individual phone or tablet, but instead software services are created more platform independently. So you make your software service and you want it to be reachable by your end users in all the devices they have, in all their screens. So we're talking about multi-screen development. And where Qt provides these APIs in application level, then Sailfish OS, as it's based on Qt, it scales the same way from phones to tablets and even to smart TVs. So you can kind of use Sailfish as the platform to go multi-screen with your devices.
So there's a lot of discussions about this IoT here and IoT there. So how do Qt and Sailfish OS play to each other's strengths in terms of this IoT work that is coming?
Yeah, the IoT is really a lot of hype thing around here. You can see it here everywhere, and yeah, it's kind of it's nothing new in the way, but let's say that moving outside mobile, more and more embedded devices and smart sensors are being connected to each other and to the cloud, and then their data needs to be reachable from all the devices out there in the pockets of end users. So first of all, you can create embedded devices and you can reuse the same user interface across embedded and mobile, but you can also create like lower level IoT devices that do not have a screen at all, but instead you're running the user interface for the device on your mobile phone or tablet, and that's like bring your own device, and it's really important to go cross-platform to all the screens out there to get to the market.
Okay, so does it actually mean that I can write a client for an IoT device, a sensor or something, and then reuse that or part of that to actually write a client for Sailfish OS that works with that?
Yes, exactly. So what Sailfish has inside is the Qt libraries, and they're not only about making user interfaces, but you can make headless embedded devices using the Qt libraries, and they may or may not have a UI made with Qt, but anyway, you can reuse the same code base for Sailfish clients as well, so you don't need to manage a whole portfolio of technologies. You can focus on Qt and C++ development.
Right. Let's talk a bit about community. Both Qt and Sailfish OS have very powerful communities, and we have a very good example here. How do the two communities interact with each other and sometimes intersect? Do they help, and how?
Yeah, the Qt community is, well, it's one of the big strengths of Qt, the big community. We have over 800,000 developers actively working with Qt programming, and Sailfish community is a vital part of that community, and you're kind of Sailfish developers are showing the high spirits of open source developers, really contributing back to the Qt platform, making the cross-platform product better for all of us. And in the same way, when you start writing applications for Sailfish, you get the whole support of the existing Qt community out there. So you're not alone with your problems and issues.
So talking about my problem, so I'm not really a very good developer. I know something about programming, but how long do you think it would take to actually learn how to use Qt and Qt QML?
For you?
Yeah.
Years? Well, no, honestly, I think even you could do it rather quickly. So the Qt APIs are very high level, so it's easy for developers to be productive writing applications with Qt. But like I said, one of the big incentives for developers to start writing applications with Qt is the big open community around it. So you're not alone with your issues. If you start writing with Sailfish, there are lots of people where to ask help from, and of course a lot of tutorials and materials online. So I'm sure you should just give it a try. And
so I should turn myself to the power of the community, essentially.
Yes.
So the big communities of Qt and Sailfish OS. Great. So in terms of you said applications and developers. In terms of application development, what kind of tools does Qt provide? How does it help Sailfish developers to create faster and better applications? And in what sense is it better than other tools out there and other programming languages out there?
So the core of Qt development lies in the C++ libraries, but besides the libraries, we also want to make the workflow rapid for the developer. So we have our own IDE called the Qt Creator, which is a really powerful development environment for making Qt applications, and that's also the heart for the Sailfish SDK. So it's really easy to get started downloading Qt and Qt Creator and just trying on with the tutorials, playing around with the examples, and running your application directly on the device.
So essentially, if I wanted to write an application for Sailfish, I go to the sailfishos.org site, download the SDK, talk to the community, to the Qt community, to the Sailfish OS community, and there, bam, in a week, I will have my app.
Exactly.
Oh, fantastic. So, thanks very much to Tuukka. A big clap to him, please. And we'll meet again tomorrow, I think at 2:30 here. Very same stage, very same guys, talking about the very same things. Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you.